Hey guys, it's Cyan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another comic book review. Today we're looking at Ultimate Spider-Man number 11 by Jonathan Hickman, David Messina, who is filling in for the other artist for the second time this week, or in a row this week, and with the letter Wilson at the end here, right? So yeah, this is the November issue. It opens up with Spider-Man on the phone. Harry is not picking up his calls, and so he decides to call Dr. Octopus or Dr. Octavius to see if he can get a hold of Harry. And they have a bit of a back and forth there where Otto doesn't want to do it, but Spider-Man convinces him to do so as he's starting to find the information necessary. Spider-Man hangs up on him and he's like, okay, I gotta go, stuff is happening, right? And it turns out that Negative Man has sent his thugs to rob a bank. And so Spider-Man was right in front of him as this was happening. And he goes down into the bank and he starts beating the shit out of these thugs, right? And he starts quipping and having fun. And what happens here is that at some point, one of the people that are there is a Karen and decides to tell Spider-Man to shut up because he's gonna get them killed. Because she stood up to tell him this, she gets grabbed by one of the goons, and Spider-Man is like, well, okay, I'll save everyone. You can have her. I'll save everyone else, I guess. And he's just quipping. He's not actually being serious. He manages to save her, and he's about to start beating the rest of the goons up at this point, but Mr. Negative shows up, and he starts talking to Peter. He tells him that, he's not gonna let what happened to Black Cat happen to him. And Peter is like, we didn't mean for that to happen. That was an accident. And Mr. Negative doesn't care. He turns everyone against Peter using his powers. And so Peter gets beat up by a bunch of random people at the bank that he was trying to save. And Mr. Negative and his goons decide to escape since they have the opportunity to do so. And so this is kind of the end of the first portion of the comic book here. After this, we get to see that Peter crawls back home and MJ finds him beat up and beat the shit, right? And she asks him, hey man, is everything okay? Are we gonna have problems? Like, I said I was okay with this, but now that I see you beat up, I don't have, I'm not sure if I am, right? And Peter manages to talk her down, get her to calm down, relax. And they talk about the issues that are going to come up, the reality of their situation now that Peter is a superhero, and the fact that he might get beat up from time to time. And she tells him, I'm scared. Should I be scared? And he says, no, I'll tell you when you should be scared. And when that happens, you have to run. And so I guess that they're going to prepare for that eventuality, which means that that is coming here soon. Otherwise, it would have not been mentioned at all, right? And eventually, they've kind of finished the conversation. They're having fun, just being husband and wife, and she eventually asks him, hey, do you want to fool around? And he thinks about it, and he's like, fuck, I can't. I have to go do stuff with Ben. She is upset about that, a rain check, and it looks like they're going to have fun later. Then we transition over to the Kingpin, where he's with his Sinister Six, currently 5, talking about finding a replacement so that things don't happen the way they did for Black Cat. Black Cat shows up in a wheelchair with a some sort of air tank attached to his face, and he tells them that there's no need. He is still in charge. His daughter can step in when they need physical altercations to happen, right? And his daughter is Felicia Hardy, and of course is this character here. Although she doesn't actually get to do anything in this issue, she does show up. So this is a little bit of a lie, but it is a bit interpretive for what does happen in the issue, right? So overall, great entrance for her. And Kingpin gets mad at them. He's like, no, everything belongs to me, not you. You better be ready to defend it. We transition over to Peter and Ben, who are meeting at the memorial site for the people that died due to the Ultimate Invasion. And they talk about, May and themselves and remembering. Ben tells him that he knows he's Spider-Man without saying it. And then at the end, they have a bit of a conversation here that I think, to me, it kind of read as tough love, right? This kind of idea that Ben is looking out for Peter, but he has to do it like in a masculine, kind of manly way, which means not really saying it outright, not, being nice to him about it, just telling him how it is, right? Which is, I'm old and I've lived my life well. can you say the same thing? Peter says no, and Ben tells him to think about that. What are you going to do? And I mean, this is more or less just reaffirming that Peter will continue to be Spider-Man. It's a bit of tough love, in my opinion. It doesn't come off as like a heroic thing to say. It doesn't come off the same way that your traditional responsibility and power conversation does. It comes off as a uncle or a dad trying to look out for his son in a way that the son will easily understand. And I liked it. I thought it was good. But I feel like it wasn't really what the chapter needed, right? Like, I feel like there could have been a better way to do this, a more gentle approach. But maybe this is exactly what Peter needs, right? A kick in the butt to get him to really understand what's at stake here. And it was also kind of a warning, right? It was like, things are going to get bad. Things are going to get serious. War or, battles will happen, and you have to be ready to deal with those consequences. Can you? And it seems like Peter answered no, right? So I'm kind of concerned about that. I think that this is a death flag for sure, right? We know someone's going to die eventually. Now it's just a matter of who, right? So yeah, overall, this was a great issue. I really, really like it. I think Messina's artwork here was awesome. The way that he draws Spider-Man, the coloring for this is great. I really, really love it. It looks phenomenal. I love the introduction of Felicia Hardy. I think she looks great as well. And I love this cover here as well. So overall, Ultimate Spider-Man continues to be really, really enjoyable. It's not that action-packed, and I don't think it's really about the action at this point. It's more about the drama that comes with living a superhero life in this kind of weird, messed up version of New York, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you thought down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys later.